My wife cheated with her work husband, so I took everything from them. They say reality hits harder than any fantasy ever could. I learned that the moment my wife looked me in the eye and lied through her teeth. This isn't just another story about betrayal. It's about how love can blind you and how betrayal can awaken a side of you that you didn't even know existed. Smash that like button, hit subscribe, and keep watching, because the best part's coming up next. Jess and I had been married for 7 years. I'm 35 now. She's 34. We met in our late 20s, young, driven, and maybe a little naive. Our life wasn't perfect, but whose is? We didn't have kids, mostly because we were still trying to figure our own lives out. But I always thought we had something solid. We worked, we laughed, we argued, and we made up. I loved her. I really did. She worked in marketing at a big consultancy firm in the city. Busy job, lots of co-workers. She often came home with stories, projects, deadlines, funny lunchroom gossip. Among the names, there was one that came up more often than I liked. Brett. She spoke about him casually at first. Brett thinks this ad campaign is stupid. Brett made a dumb joke today. He sounded like any other co-worker, but over time, the tone changed. She started smiling when she said his name. And then came the moment that kicked off the unraveling of everything I thought I knew. We were sitting on the couch when she told me this harmless little anecdote from work. How she and Brett were paired together for a project because everyone at the office jokes that he's my work husband. She said it with a laugh, a blush, and a little shrug, like it was no big deal. But something inside me froze. I'm not the jealous type. I've never been the guy to tell my partner what to wear, who to talk to, or how to behave. I trusted her. I chose to trust her, but hearing her say that, work husband, hit me in the gut. I tried to stay calm. I told her I didn't like that phrase, that it felt disrespectful, that I was her real husband, and hearing her casually talk about another man that way wasn't okay with me. She rolled her eyes, told me I was overreacting. It's just what other people say, she insisted. It doesn't mean anything. But her face said otherwise. I could see it. She liked it. The attention, the label, the little thrill of it all. I dropped it that night, but inside, something had changed. A seed had been planted, and it began to grow roots. In the weeks that followed, Brett's name kept coming up, and each time it hit me like a fresh bruise. I tried to act normal, but I was spiraling. I started imagining things. What are they really doing at work? What if there's more to it? But I kept my mouth shut. I didn't want to be that guy. I wanted to be the man she chose, the one she once said she loved for being steady and kind. But I couldn't silence the alarms anymore. So I did something I'd never done before in my life. I waited until she was asleep, snoring softly next to me after a late night at work. I reached for her phone with shaking hands, heart pounding like a drum. I told myself I might find nothing, that I'd feel like a fool, that I'd apologize to myself for letting my imagination run wild. But I didn't find nothing. I found everything. It started subtle. Flirty jokes, memes, conversations late into the night. Did you get home safe? I had fun today. But then came the real gut punch. Messages that weren't just suggestive. They were explicit. Descriptions, fantasies, things she never even said to me. And then I saw it, a message from her. I've never filmed before. That was different, he replied. Told you it'd be fun. Want me to send you the link? He sent her a link to his Google Drive. I felt sick. I sent the link to myself before she could wake up and delete it. Then, hands trembling, I opened it on my own phone. What I saw broke something inside me forever. It was a video, 4 minutes long. Shot in what was clearly a conference room. She was bent over the table. He was behind her. No need to describe further. This wasn't a mistake. This wasn't a drunken lapse in judgment. This was premeditated, filmed, and shared like a goddamn highlight reel. I didn't sleep that night. I couldn't even look at her. I just lay on the couch, staring at the ceiling, feeling like I was watching the ruins of my life burn in slow motion. The next morning, she asked why I slept on the couch. She looked concerned, like she cared. That made me angrier than anything else. I exploded. Like what you see? Click like, hit subscribe, and stay tuned. Let's keep going. I confronted her, told her I knew about Brett, told her to stop lying. She played dumb at first, then tried to minimize it. It was just flirting, she whispered. I told her I was filing for divorce, that if she ever tried to beg, I'd show a side of me she'd never seen before. She said she didn't want to leave, that we needed to talk. But I didn't. I couldn't. If I had stayed in that room another second, I would have done something I regretted. I came back 2 hours later. She was still there, packing slowly. She said she needed more time. I told her she had until tomorrow morning. She left that night. Within a few days, I'd spoken to a lawyer. She agreed to the divorce quickly, too quickly. No alimony, no drawn-out drama. She just wanted her car and half the savings. I should have felt victorious, but it made me suspicious. I wondered if she just wanted to be free, to be with Brett. Maybe they thought they could ride off into the sunset now that I was out of the way. So I made sure that fantasy exploded in their faces. Remember that video? I edited it. Blurred their faces just enough to keep it anonymous, but still obvious to anyone who knew them. Then I emailed it to her company's HR. When they didn't respond, I dug deeper and sent it to her boss's boss. This time I got a reply. They asked for the uncensored version to confirm identities. I sent it, and then a few weeks later, I got the update. Both of them were fired. Jess came storming into my house the next day, screaming at me. Said I had no right, that I had already left her, so ruining her career was evil. I told her she didn't know the meaning of evil, until she decided to destroy 7 years of love and trust for a 4-minute thrill in an office room. I told her to get out and dust off her resume. She tried to slap me, missed, then walked out without another word. I check her LinkedIn sometimes. She's still looking for work. And every time I see it, I feel nothing but satisfaction. People like Jess think they can have it all. The stability of a loyal husband at home and the thrill of a forbidden lover at work. They think they can play with fire and walk away without a single burn. But I made sure she felt the heat. Actions have consequences. She gambled with her marriage, her career, and her integrity, and she lost them all. Let that be a lesson. You know, stories like this always leave a mark, not just because of the betrayal, but because of the transformation. This wasn't just a breakup, it was a wake-up call. Some people walk away stronger, colder maybe, but wiser. What stands out to me is how quickly one person's selfish thrill can destroy years of love, trust, and life built together. Actions always echo, and sometimes the loudest echoes come when you least expect them. Jess made her choices. He made sure she felt the consequences. And honestly, that might be the most human thing about this entire story. If this story